Hello everyone, welcome to TechZone channel. Today we share a few interview questions which are related to ETL testing and which were asked in one of the recent interview. So as of now, I am going to share 11 questions which were asked in a recent interview questions. I believe these questions are going to help you for your interview preparation definitely. So these kind of questions only they're going to ask in every interview, not question, not the questions straight from the book. So they're going to ask based on the real-time experience. So let's look into the questions. What are they and the answers? So first, they're going to ask as usual. In general, generally they're going to ask about give the self introduction about your work experience, family background and hobbies, and they ask you to explain about the project details. So these are the every common questions they're going to ask in every interview. So let's look into the first question. What they asked in recent interview. So they want to know about the difference between truncate, delete, and drop. The between what are the difference? I mean the what is the purpose of the truncate statement and delete statement or drop statement? So we have to explain the difference between these three functions whenever we are using. So the truncate statement is going to whenever we apply truncate on a particular table, it removes the data inside the particular table, and the structure remains same. So it doesn't remove the complete data from the complete structure of the table or whenever we use truncate. It only removes the data. When it comes to delete, so whenever we use a delete statement in any table, so it deletes the entire table as well as the data. I mean, if we don't mention any numbers or anything, whatever we deleted inside the table of the data, so it can be uh, we can it can be undo. We can go back and we can retrieve the data whenever we use delete statement. So when it comes to drop, whenever we use a drop, it can entirely drop the particular table immediately. So there is no going back whenever we use drop function. So these are the main differences. So if you want to know about these three, what are these three statements and which category they fall, in which statements they fall, you can Google it and you will know entire information about these three statements. So let's come to the second question. So what is the default status in a bug life cycle? So they ask you about the default status. So we have bug life cycle. In that we have different status: new, open, closed, fixed, rejected. So in those in the complete life cycle, bug default status is one of the status. So they ask you what is this status. So the status refers to whenever developers, the concerned team, is going to change the bug status into defer. That means that bug is not going to fixed on that particular application release on that particular cycle. They want to fix it in the upcoming or in the future releases. In that case, the bug is put in a default status. So you can Google it about the default status. You will get the same similar answer to know more about. So this is the most common asked question in every interview whenever they want to know about the bug life cycle. So generally, guys don't know about the default status. I mean, everyone will know, but some of the guys don't know what is the default status. So make sure you have answer for this. And coming to the next, so it's regarding SQL query. So how to extract a substring from a string into a new column. So let's look at this question. They want to extract a substring from a string, and that the result should be reflected in a new column. So how we can get this result for this query? Let's open SQL editor. So we have already written a query for that. So we will look into it. So here we have a table called ages. So in the ages we have full name of the particular persons and their age. So s- they want us to select a substring, which means let's take they want us to print only the surnames, which means Nola, Pinch, Butler, Kennedy, Patel, Green. So these are the substrings they want us to print in a new column. So for that we have to write a query. Let's look at the query. So here we can use we have to select full name, the column name. Once we're done with, to achieve that we have to use the substring, I mean the one of the string function. So we have to use, so what it does, it it takes the it displays the string from the position whatever we are going to mention in the query. So here we have to give that particular column name in the substring, and in string from the where. So here we have space as a special character. So from this space it's going to calculate, from the space it's going to take the string. So we have given the index of the string in string function, then we give the column name here, full name, then the position from where we want to extract the string. So here in every string we have the separator space as a separator for the from the first name and last name. So from that position we are taking, and we are giving, and also we are taking the length of the name. So it takes the entire the length of the name function gives what total length. Then we are just minusing it from the index of the string. That means from this from the length of the string we are minusing in string this position plus one. You know everyone, the plus one means, so it's going to calculate from the space. Plus one means n, plus two means zero. So from here it is going to calculate, and we are giving a alias name to this entire result as a surname and the table. So let's run this query and look at the result. So we got the result. See, full name is Christopher Nolan, and we are extracted surnames from the full name using substring function. So this is the way we have to write query. Also there we have another way. Instead of using length of the function, length function, we can write, just give substring full name index. It does, we don't require this part. Let's look at this result. So this also gives us same result as the previous one. So here we are minusing the total length of the name minus and that in string length. So instead of that, directly we can just remove that entire this path, and just by writing this query we can achieve, we can get the result. So this is the way we have to uh, write queries whenever they ask us to extract a string, substring from the string. Using substring functions, the string functions, we can display the whatever they are expecting. Let's look into the second, another question, fourth one. So they want us to display first name and last name in separate columns. Similarly, we extracted only surname from the in the above query. Now they want us to display the first name also. So how we can get that? Just simple. In the last query, we only extracted surname. That means we given the position from the plus one. Plus one means it starts from the it starts from the space. It calculates. Plus one means it goes NOLA. Now we want to display first name also. In that case, we have to mention the reverse string. So that means it going to calculate minus one. So here the from the space it goes to calculate in the reverse order till zero position. So it gives us the first name. So let's run this query. Name. Okay, sorry, we have to change the column name. Name. Now let's run this. See, we have first name and last name in different separate columns. So this is the way we can extract a string or substring from a string using a substring function. This is substring is one of the string function in SQL. So string functions are the most common, most important functions that which we have to learn whenever we want to extract a string or a data or a alphanumeric from an alphanumeric string or a string complete string. Whenever we want to extract, whenever we want to split a string, the string functions will help you a lot. So coming to the next question, how to combine two columns data into a single column. So they want us to combine two columns data into a single column. So you can write this using concatenation function. So how we can do that? Let's see simple. So here we have first name in one column and second name in another column. So they want us to combine these two column into a single column. I mean as a full name. So let's take one example how we can do. From this query also we can write it. Otherwise it will be confused. Let me write full query. So select first name, last name, then first name. We can use concatenation function space then last name as full name from employees. Let's run this query and see the result. See, we got it. So they're asking to combine these two columns data into a single column. So we have Ellen Abel and we as a separate names first name and last name we combined it using this concatenate function. Now we got the result. So similarly, if we have any kind of data, I mean, we cannot combine string and numeric data using concatenation. We can only combine the similar type of data into another column. So this is the way we can combine two set of columns into another column. Let's look into another question. We are completed 5 questions and write a query if the length of the ename is greater than 5 and then display ename. If the length of the name is less than 3 letters should be displayed from ename. So simple guys. So here they're asking to display the employee name. If the length of the name is greater than the 5 characters, then we have to display full name. If the case when the length of the name is less than the 5 characters, then they are asking us to display only first 3 characters of this particular employee name. Let's see. We have a tab. We have result. So here we have length of the person's name is Ellen Abel. So the characters are more than 5 characters. So they want us to display full name. So whoever have the name with less than 5 characters, let's see if we any have. So here we don't have anyone with less than 5 characters. So let's take only first name as a full name. We will see the result. So just I'm selecting the first name. So we can go with the two functions. One is case function, another one is decode. The both functions works like if then else pattern. So decode or case, a case function. You can select any of any one up to our choice. So I'm going with the case function. So in the case function, we are writing case, and it works like similarly if then else pattern. So if the case works, I mean when a case when the length of the first name is greater than or equal to 5, then it displays the first name. So I mean first name is it means full name, and as we are giving alias name for to the particular result as a full name. Case when length of the first name is less than 5. So they want us to display only first 3 characters. That means if the length of the first character is less than 5 characters, it means Amit. So in the Amit we have only 4 characters. From that they want us to display only AMI, only 3 letters. For that we have to again use substring function in this case function. So the substring function we used in the substring function we given the column name and the positions from the first position to third position. If the length only if the length of the first name is less than 5 character, and we given it as a short surname from that particular table. Just run this query. Let's look at the result. See, we got the full name. That means the first name is having more than 5 characters, so it is only displaying first full name. I mean the first name as a full name. And whoever having less than 5 characters, so it displaying only the first 3 characters. So this is the way we can get whenever we get this kind of questions. So this is the query, guys. So let please ask me if you have any questions regarding this, and post it in comments so that I will look into it and will answer. And let's look at another question. So remaining questions are theoretical parts. So they asked about what are the story points in a Scrum or Agile methodology. So everyone knows, if anyone follows the Scrum methodology, if anyone knows the Scrum methodology, if you don't know, please go through the Scrum methodology. It is one of the software development method we use. So in that story points are used to estimate a workout user story, how much time it is going to consume, how much time we required. So in estimation board, they're going to select how many story points required for that particular user story to complete it. That's called story points. What is the retrospective? It's one of the kind of meeting in every agile methodology they conduct at the end of the sprint. So they're going to discuss everything what in whatever they did in the entire sprint, and what are the blockers and what needs to improve, what needs to stop. So these are the things they are going to discuss in retrospective. If you want to know more about the retrospective, you can go I mean, you can search it in the Google, so you will definitely know in detail about the retrospective meeting. Next question, what is deadlock in SQL? So even some of the guys don't know more about this. What is deadlock? So deadlock you mean which means something whenever whenever a two persons wants to access a single table which is locked. I mean whenever they want to access a single query, a single user, a single schema which is in a locked status, we call it as a deadlock. For example, let's take we have a two plumbers, they have only single hammer, they want to do work I mean parallelly, but they have only single hammer. So what we have to do, first one person have to complete the work using that hammer, then again he has to pass it to the second person. So until the first person is going to complete, the second person is not going to start his work. So this is the way the scenario comes a deadlock. So the both persons cannot use that particular schema or the particular users any other access parallelly. So this is called deadlock. So we have different definitions for the deadlock in the internet. So you can Google it and you will know the best answers. What is the deadlock? Coming to the what are the correlated subqueries in SQL? Another question: how we can improve performance of a SQL query? I mean, tuning a query or improvement performance queries both are similar, just different abbreviations. So how we can improve whenever we want to whenever the query, if a SQL query is not performing well, we have to improve that. We have to how we can improve that SQL query. So there are a lot of ways. So we can use joins, and we can reduce the tables data. So there are multiple ways how we can improve a performance of particular SQL query. So you can search it in Google, you will find different ways. And last question for this session, what is data mining and data warehouse? So data mining is a technique where we extract the data from the large enterprises data warehouse to know the patterns. It detects the upcoming, it detects the business strategies, and it identifies the some disasters if anything is going to happen. So this kind of it search the pattern, it identifies the patterns in data mining technique. Data warehouse where we store a data and it uses for the analysis and business purpose. So we have multiple answers for this in the internet. Please search it and make yourself comfortable with those answers. So just know the answers for all these questions whenever you're going to face an interview. So whatever the videos we posted on ETL interview questions, those are going to really help you to crack an ETL interview. is in irrespective of the position, irrespective of the experience you have. So if you prepare all these questions, if you and get comfortable, then definitely you're going to crack interview questions. So there are more interview questions going to we are going to add to this video channel. Please subscribe and wait for the more interview questions on ETL testing. That's it, guys. Thank you and all the best.